have you, or maybe someone you know, had a felony conviction right here in Texas? And now you can't even touch a gun. Maybe you thought, hey, it was a state case, so it only affects my state rights. Or maybe you finished your time, probation's done, and you're wondering, okay, when do my full rights actually come back? Well, here's the truth. That one state felony conviction, it automatically triggered a federal ban, making it illegal for you to own a gun for life, doesn't matter where you were arrested. So what does that mean for you? Can you ever get those rights back? And if you do, are you really free? By the end of this, we're going to break it down and you'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah, today we're talking about restoring your gun rights after a felony conviction. This is really about understanding the system, finding the path to those second chances, finding real freedom. It's about empowering you with the truth, a truth rooted in, purpose and justice, making sure you understand every single step forward.
Okay, let's walk through this then, because it seems kind of obvious, right? You deal with state police, state courts, state prisons. So yeah, it makes sense that a state felony conviction only impacts your state. But here's the surprising part, the thing that catches so many good people off guard. If you get a felony conviction in your state, let's say right here in Texas, even if it wasn't a federal case at all, that automatically triggers a federal ban, makes it illegal for you to have a gun. That's a huge point people miss. You don't have to be arrested by the feds or go to federal court. Just having that felony on your state record, that's enough. Federal law steps in, says no firearms for you.
And that's exactly where the confusion comes in for so many folks. They just assume state and federal, they're totally separate things. If the police, the judge, the jail, if they were all state level, then the consequences should say state level too, right? But with gun rights, nope, it's different. That one state conviction, even if it happened years ago, it still blocks your gun rights federally. And yeah, usually that ban is for life. This link, this connection between a state action and such a big federal consequence, it's just knowledge a lot of people don't have. And that can lead to real problems, serious legal trouble if you don't understand it. It means that state conviction reaches way further than most people think, impacts a fundamental right across the whole country.
Wow, okay. That federal ban sounds incredibly final then. Is there any history of something like this changing? Or is this really it? A permanent wall for so many?
That's a great question. And it actually brings us to a place of, real hope, second chances. See, for a long time, a federal gun ban felt like a dead end, like a permanent mark, no clear way back. But what's really interesting now and kind of groundbreaking is that right now, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney General's office, they're actually working on restarting a program that will let people actually apply to get their federal gun rights back.
Really? Restarting it?
Yeah, this is huge because this path, it hasn't really been available for years, decades maybe. For so many, it felt like that door was just locked shut permanently. But now they're bringing it back. And that signals a real shift, a shift in thinking at the very top. It shows a belief in redemption.
So this isn't just some vague idea then, it's a real process. What's it called? And what does it actually mean for someone trying to get their rights back?
Absolutely. It's got a specific name. It's called a 925C petition. Basically what it does is allows someone who's prohibited from having firearms under federal law to ask the Attorney General for relief, to lift that ban.
Yeah.
So practically speaking, it lets a person step forward and really show they've changed, that they've truly turned their life around. They can bring evidence, proof of rehabilitation, like steady work, being involved in the community, keeping a clean record since the conviction, showing they're committed to living a productive, law-abiding life.
So proving that change.
Exactly. It's their chance to prove to the federal government, look, I paid my dues, I deserve a second chance, a real shot at getting fully restored. And if they get approved, they can get their federal firearm rights back, which is just an incredible step forward on that journey to freedom.
Okay, so this is, a massive opportunity for people with old felony convictions. It's like a clear signal, right? The federal government is finally opening that door for good people who've shown real transformation. They can be trusted with their rights again. It's like saying, okay, past mistakes don't have to define you forever, especially if you've done the work to change.
Precisely. It reflects that core belief in redemption, the ability to live a changed, honorable life. For so long, people felt trapped by that past mistake. But this program offers a real path back.
Okay, so that's fantastic news on the federal side, a huge step, a lot of hope there. But wait a minute, because here's what you still really need to know. This is where things can get tricky, even dangerous maybe if you're not fully informed. You might think, great, federal rights back, I'm good to go, but that's not the whole story, especially not here in Texas.
That's absolutely right. And it's so important to understand this difference. Even if you get your federal gun rights back through that 925C petition, that does not automatically mean your state gun rights are back too.
Not automatic.
No, it's a critical distinction,
Yeah.
especially for our listeners right here in Texas, because Texas state laws, they have their own rules. They operate separately from federal restoration. So you could be cleared federally, but still break state law if you're not careful. Think of it like two different locks on the same door. Opening one doesn't mean the other one just pops open.
Okay, so let's break that down. What does this mean specifically for folks in Texas? Because this is when people get tripped up. After a felony conviction, Texas law has its own rules, very specific ones. It's in the Texas Penal Code, section 46.04. And it says basically, if you have a felony conviction, you're prohibited from having a firearm anywhere except the place where you live, your home. And even then, you can only have it after 5 years have passed since you finished your confinement or supervision for that felony.
Right. Let's put that in plain English, like super simple. After a felony, Texas law says you can only have a gun at home, in your house, your apartment, that's it.
Only at home.
And only after 5 full years have passed since you finished everything. Your sentence, parole, probation, whichever was last. So you can't just get out and grab a gun the next day. There's a waiting period and a strict location limit. You can't take it to the store or a friend's house or even have it in your car to go hunting or to the range.
And this is where it gets really complicated, isn't it? Even if you get your federal rights restored, you still can't legally carry or buy or transport a gun in public in Texas. The only way to get those public gun rights back in Texas is if the governor gives you a full pardon. And that pardon has to specifically say it restores your gun rights. That's a really high bar.
Yeah.
And it just shows how state laws can hold you back even after the feds say, okay. It's like winning a big race, but then finding out there's another whole race you still got to run to get the full price.
Exactly. So you could go through that whole 925C process, win back your federal rights, feel like, okay, finally free, but then you can still get arrested, charged under Texas state law. If you carry or use a gun outside your house without that specific governor's pardon, think about it. Maybe you're a responsible gun owner now, federal rights restored. Yeah. You take your hunting rifle to a shooting range.
You could still be charged with unlawful possession of a firearm in Texas, right then and there. This is such a crucial point, often overlooked. And it can have devastating results, undoing all that hard work you put in. It just highlights why you need complete restoration, not just partial freedom that leaves you vulnerable.
Let's take a quick pause before we continue. If you're listening right now and you believe in what we're doing, educating, empowering, and helping real people navigate the justice system, then consider becoming a sponsor of the Legal Gangsta podcast. This isn't just a show, this is a movement. We don't take money from lawyers or legal aid. We stand on truth, faith, and real solutions for real people. If you'd like to be a sponsor, contact the Legal Gangsta Management Team today at legal-gangsta.com. That's legal-gangsta.com. Now let's get back into it. Welcome back. All right, now that you understand the federal layer and the state layer, the big question is, what can you actually do about it? And the really good news here, the message of hope for your future, is that now is the perfect time to act. Don't wait on this. This opportunity is opening up, and you need to be ready to step into that restored purpose.
Okay, so here are the clear steps, actionable things you can do to start that journey to full freedom, restoration. First, start preparing for the federal process now. That federal 925C petition program, it's reopening. You want to be ready when the application door officially swings open.
What does that mean? Get ready.
It means getting your documents together. You know, your court records, proof you finished supervision, any certificates from classes or programs you did. But maybe more importantly, it means being able to clearly show how your life has profoundly changed since the conviction. This isn't just about paperwork. It's about showing steady employment, how you're involved in your community, getting character references from people who've seen the change, and of course, maintaining a clean record consistently. You got to show them you're a new person committed to a righteous, law-abiding path.
Okay, step 1, prep for the federal petition. What's step 2? Second, if you live in Texas and you really want your full gun rights back, meaning, the ability to carry, buy, transport a gun in public, not just keep one locked up at home, you will need to apply for a governor's pardon. And again, it has to specifically include restoring your gun rights. This is totally separate from the federal petition. It's vital, but it's often a long, challenging process here in Texas.
Yeah, it takes serious effort.
It takes diligence, patience. But it's the key to complete restoration within Texas. Gives you that freedom to move forward without always looking over your shoulder. You'll need to show really good conduct, a compelling reason for mercy, to the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. They make the recommendation to the governor.
Okay, so prep federally, apply for a state pardon. What's third? Third, and this is where your voice, your story becomes really powerful. Talk to your lawmakers. Let them know that state law needs to catch up. It needs to match these new federal opportunities. Your voice matters. It really does.
Yeah.
Pushing for a more just, a more consistent system, they need to hear from people like you that their laws have real impact on real lives, that the path to redemption should be clear, not, confusing and full of traps.
How do you do that?
Contact your state representatives. Write letters, go to town hall meetings, share your story or maybe the story of someone you know. Show them how the current laws create confusion, create barriers for people who've paid their debt, and truly change their lives.
And that leads right into the fourth step, doesn't it? Building on that fourth, we need to actively push for new laws at the state level. We need laws that say, hey, if someone gets their federal rights back, they should automatically get their state rights back too, without having to jump through all these extra confusing hoops. This is about real accountability followed by genuine, complete restoration. It's about making sure that when someone has truly paid their dues, turned their life around, they can fully rejoin society, all their rights intact, living out their God-given purpose without these unnecessary legal weights holding them back. Imagine a Texas where that path to full restoration is clear, consistent, reflecting that power of second chances.
Yeah, that collective effort is so crucial. Your actions today, preparing your petition, applying for that pardon, talking to lawmakers, it all builds towards a future where the system actually supports people trying to live that transformed life.
So here's the bottom line, the core truth we've been breaking down today. One felony conviction in your state, even if it felt small or just local, it can block your gun rights both federally and at the state level. But now, and this is big, for the first time in a long, long time, the federal government is making a way forward, reopening that path to restoration. And that's exciting. It speaks right to the power of second chances and the truth that, yes, we serve a God of restoration.
Absolutely. And now it's really time for the states to catch up. Seriously. If you paid your dues, if you genuinely turned your life around, you should have a clear path, a straightforward path to get all your rights back, both federal and local. There shouldn't be these confusing gaps and traps. So let's keep pushing with faith, with determination, until state gun rights line up with federal gun rights so people can finally move forward for real, with total clarity, confidence in their restored freedom and their purpose.
For solutions and to really equip yourself with the knowledge you need, visit legal-gangsta.com. That's legal-gangsta.com. And listen up. For our listeners in Harris County, go to legal-gangsta.com right now. Get your 10-step Erase Your Criminal Record guide. Start that journey to freedom and a clean record today. This guide, it's your blueprint for navigating these complex paths, taking those first crucial steps.
And hey, if this information resonated with you today, if it brought some clarity or maybe some hope, please like, subscribe, and definitely share this valuable information with someone you know who needs to hear it. And leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts, your questions, your engagement. It really helps us empower more people. Keep this vital work going. Until next time, stay informed, stay strong, and keep fighting for your freedom.